We told you earlier about the lack of women in leadership roles. Well, today happens to be Women in Capital Markets Job Shadowing Day. The program hopes to get more women interested in financial careers. About 100 grade 12 students are taking part this year. Jennifer Reynolds is the president and CEO of Women in Capital Markets, and Claudia Fournier is one of today's participants. So let's start with you, Jennifer. Welcome to both of you, of
Thank
course.
you.
And just tell us about how this got started.
Well, Women in Capital Markets has actually been around for 20 years, and since almost the beginning, we have been thinking about the pipeline. It's a male-dominated industry in the capital markets, and so we need to start with getting younger women into the industry. And when you look at that problem, you've got to start early. You've got to, first of all, make sure that they actually go into business programs. High school students are going into business programs. Then when you get them into business programs, convince them that this is the career for them. So this particular program starts in high school, as I was talking about, and really educates about all the different roles are, because often young women just have no idea what kind of roles there are in our industry. But then secondly, there's a perception issue, right, around our industry and other male-dominated industries. But, you know, is it going to be a locker room, or is it going to be an inclusive type of environment that a woman would want to work in? And so that's, we're trying to really change those misperceptions about what the industry's like.
Right. So now, Claudia, how did you hear about it? Did someone come around to the classroom or what?
Last year, I went to another event run by WCM called CBC. It was, I was in grade 11 at the time, and it was basically an event that promoted women in capital markets, showing girls. I believe that the program was about STEM.
Right.
STEM jobs at the time.
Science, technology.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What's the rest?
Engineering and mathematics.
Engineering and math. Okay, I should know
after that, I found that all of the jobs that all these women were in, it was just an inspiration, and I found it interesting. And at the end of the event, I actually signed up to be on the WCM mailing list.
So you got a letter telling you
yes.
Today is Job Shadowing Day.
Yes.
All right. So who were you shadowing? What did you see today?
Today we were split up into small groups, and I had the privilege of going to see the CBC trading floor.
Oh, yes.
And it was honestly one of the most interesting things I've ever seen. It was surprising considering based on movies and other things, you would think that on a trading floor everyone would be yelling at each other.
Right, of course. They did that once upon a time.
However, now since everything's done electronically and whatnot, it's a lot more quiet, but everyone looked like they were having fun. It didn't seem as stressful as I honestly perceived, and there were a lot of women around, which was nice to see.
Oh, well, that's a bit of a surprise then, isn't it?
The numbers are changing, actually. We've done some studies recently on representation, and there's certain areas in the capital markets that are doing better. The trading floor, as Claudia mentioned, is one where we're getting much stronger numbers at the more junior levels, and you know, that's hopefully will move up, and that's the trick, right? Are we need to retain those people in the system?
Right.
So yeah, there's some areas that are still not doing well on even the recruiting, but you know, corporate banking, the trading floor are doing much, much better, actually.
So you've obviously taken real interest in business already. Mm-hmm. I mean, how alone are you in your friend group, or are many of your friends interested in business?
Honestly, this might come as a surprise, but the majority of my graduating year are either going into engineering or commerce.
Oh, wow.
That's fantastic.
So, mm-hmm.
Yeah, glad to hear that.
That's surprising. And now, have you always been just good at math or interested in business?
I have always enjoyed math, and I would consider myself quite good at it. And last year we were allowed to take business courses, so I started off with economics, and I just found it really interesting. And this year I'm taking accounting, and I've also been to business cases at the Ivy Business School at Western, and I just enjoy the whole subject.
So, Jennifer, why do you think it's so important that there is a change in this gender makeup in this industry?
In our industry? Well, I think it's important in all industries to have good gender representation. As I'm sure you know, there's all kinds of business cases around why we need more women in leadership. Those companies are more competitive, their share price returns are better, all of that. But, you know, in our industry in particular, or any male-dominated industry, we've got to change the dynamic there. We need women in there. I think that the financial institutions are realizing that, you know, we need that talent pool. 62% of graduates today are women. And so if you're not recruiting from that pool, you're missing a big part of the talent pool in this country.
Right.
So just that fact alone should tell you should be recruiting women. But as I said, you know, we need diversity of thought in our organizations. It's a very challenging time in the financial industry right now. We need innovation. We need good ideas and good thoughts. And so diversity matters to the financial institutions today, which is great.
All right. Well, thanks to both of you for being here.
Thank
Good
you
luck
very
with
much.
your future career. I'm sure you'll be brilliant.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.